What's going on, YouTube? It's finally time to get this thing all put together. So if you remember the dash install video, I was talking a lot about, I'm going to LS swap this thing, blah, 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 but it's actually time to get into it. So a little bit of backstory here. I got this motor for $1,000. Everything you see on all these tables was $1K. Plus, it came with a Texas Speed Chopacabra cam kit. So a big old cam with some valve springs, retainers, and push rods. That kit alone is $1,000. So we basically bought a cam kit and got all this for free. But it's not without its downsides, because this motor needs some serious help to get it back to good running quality. And it's going to take some work, for sure. For starters, the reason why this project was delayed so hard and I had to start with the dash was because of this. This piston is rather hurt in a couple of spots. And either that happened while I was taking everything apart, because these rings were really stuck and a bunch of them actually just broke in half like this. So either that happened while I was taking stuff apart and I'm a complete dummy and put a chip in that piston, or it was just like that. I'm thinking I'm a dummy and I put a chip in that piston. Anyways, a guy needed some pistons, so we scoured all of Facebook Marketplace around our area. Finally, I found a set of these. Just generic run-of-the-mill 4.8 liter pistons. I got those for an extra $150. And a complete set of them too. Since we only need two, I'll just be stealing the best two that we can find. And then I got a cool wall ornament or something. The reason why the guy was selling them was because... yeah, that ain't straight. Not even close. So right now I'm still waiting on a big Summit Racing order to come in, which will be the entire gasket kit for this thing. Main bearings, rod bearings, and cam bearings. Everything to just kind of make it all nice and fresh. But before all that happens, we got a lot of cleanup to do. Every single gasket surface, and we got to hone the cylinders because they are pretty rusty, as you can see. Another issue I had was that I had two mismatched cylinder heads. So this thing came with a 862 head on the passenger side and a 706 head on the driver's side. Huh? What the hell? So I ended up going to a junkyard, picked up this beautiful condition 706 head off a really nice truck, and I feel terrible about mutilating that truck and just ripping a head off of it, but it's at a junkyard, you know. We got to do what we got to do. And I already got them some of the way cleaned up, but they do need a bit more cleaning along with everything else. And we got a lot of cleaning to do, all right? Just to the story here. But we'll get into that. So a couple things to point out real quick. We want to be very careful of the flatness of this cylinder head to make sure that it stays very nice. Same thing with the deck surface on the block where this bolts to. That's why I clean most of it with just a razor blade and some brake clean, I guess. But for the combustion chambers, I was just using a bit of red Scotch-Brite. It seemed to work really well. That and some brake clean. Brake clean is the solution to everything. Don't you know? We can do the same thing with the intake and exhaust runners. What I use for those is just a little skinny wire wheel on a drill, but we'll get into that a little bit later because I happen to break every single one that I own. So for now, we're just going to do the combustion chambers with the Scotch-Brite. Another technique we can use here is just a little mini screwdriver. We're just going to be super gentle with it, not trying to make any marks or anything, but not like this thing really could. It's just this carbon deposit here was pretty stuck on. So we can get off the pretty thick stuff with this and then switch back to the Scotch-Brite after. Well, my camera quit recording because my storage was full, but we got all these all nice and clean. Every combustion chamber. Next thing on the to-do list is to tackle these gross looking intake ports. So I went to Princess Auto to replace all of these that I broke last time. And so this little thing was like 20 bucks. I think it comes with some steel wire wheels, some brass ones, and some little nylon ones. But yeah, I'll show you what we do for that. So as you can see, these ports are looking pretty gnarly. But that is nothing that our drill with new wire wheels cannot fix. So same thing as always, we're just going to start off with some brake clean. Much better. Next up, we're on to the exhaust valves. They are particularly filled with carbon, so they're going to be a bit more difficult to get everything clean, but we'll just use the same technique and go from there. There we go. We've done just about all we can do from the top side, but now we can get in from the front and get some of the stuff that we couldn't get from the ports. The intake sides look actually really good. It's just the exhaust that I'm a little skeptical of. So we'll get going on that. One thing to be careful of is the valve seats. We don't want to damage them up. So as you're doing it, if you happen to run onto this hexagon part, it will, well, it might hurt them, but just be careful of that for sure. So we kind of got them as good as we could. There was a ton of carbon built up on this thing everywhere, but that's not a very big deal. Now it's time to clean off all this bullshit. And my methods for that might be a little less than professional. Now we got this thing in the bathtub, ready to get all nice and clean. So we're just kind of mainly focusing on cleaning the outside of it. And I didn't feel like making a bigger mess all over my wooden bench, so the bathtub's just the perfect choice, honestly. Yeah, so I just got some spray nine for the greasy stuff and brake clean just in case. And then another 3 set of wire brushes. This is a nylon and a brass and a steel. Should work pretty good, so let's get right into it. So I am absolutely amazed at how good of a job this did. Like, it is just spotless in there. And I'll flip this thing around so we can see the combustion chambers and stuff. Look at that, she's looking brand new. Crazy. This is why it's very important to check all your oil and coolant ports. So look who I've found just chilling in here. Feels like hard plastic. Oh, it's coming out the bottom. Maybe leftover silicone from a long time ago that ended up in the head. No bueno. Anyways. Alrighty, we got every bolt hole all blown out, and I cannot believe how well this thing is looking now. It is ridiculous. It's like perfectly clean everywhere. Well, goddamn. I cannot believe how well that worked. This thing looks brand new. Well, not brand new, but for what we're doing, it's basically brand new. It's probably going to be one of the cleanest things on there. I still got to do the other one, but I thought the other one was clean. That's not clean. This is clean. All it took was just a little bit of hot water in the bathtub and some spray nine. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. That's going to be my new go-to method for cleaning any complex-ish part. It's just in the bathtub. So that answers the question. Can you clean cylinder heads in the bathtub? Absolutely. It doesn't even make that much of a mess of the bathtub. When you're done, you can just, spray it down with some spray nine, which you already got in there, and your scrubby brush, which you also already got in there. It just works perfect. There's no downsides. It's elite. Anyways, so we got the head, well, a head all cleaned up. I'll do the same thing to the other one, but there's no point in me showing it because it's the same thing, We got the heads all cleaned up. So I guess all they're waiting for is just valve stem seals, which will come in the whole entire everything gasket kit. And after that, it's time to assemble the heads. But before we get all that stuff ordered, I need to make sure that that block is actually going to clean up half decent as far as the cylinder bores go, because they are frighteningly rusty. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we'll get on with the rest of the assembly, which I absolutely cannot wait for. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe.